Hello. I just realised I'm live. Good morning, everybody. It is the Skeinz Diaries. You're with Maree. This really fantastic, wonderful Monday, the 26th of July. Oh, gosh, Mondays for me are just utterly crazy. Seriously, I had every intention on a Monday. I have to be here on time. And then, of course, everything goes to hell in a handcart. I've even left my coffee in the office. Hell in a handcart with phone calls and craziness, and it's Mondays. It's Mondays around here at Skeinz. It's insane. Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone had a fantastic weekend. Olympics. The Olympics are on. I didn't get to watch a tremendous amount of the Olympics over the weekend, but I did get to watch a little bit here and there, and it was really good. It was loads of fun. And I think, it's something, there is always an optimism with the Olympics, even though it's not quite the same. Obviously, being a COVID Olympics, there is still a tremendous optimism from everybody that's there and competing, and just seeing these athletes finally reaching their goals and giving and having an opportunity to actually strut their stuff on a world stage. I think that in itself is something really amazing. So I did get to watch a little bit over the weekend. What did I watch? I watched some rowing heats, and I watched a little bit of the men's hockey. Teacher of my son is in the Black Sticks hockey side, so that was great. Our Black Sticks women had a tremendous win. That was amazing. And then, of course, there was that. I know they're talking about how disappointed that WeChat was in the pool, but I thought he did an incredibly amazing swim. So, yeah, it's just great. It's really good to see. And I have to admit, the weather for a lot of people was pretty meh over the weekend. And I won't lie, it's not exactly tropical here today in the bay. We haven't had the rain yet. We've had like little bits and pieces, but it really is windy and just a number of you are already saying that it's not brilliant in your neck of the woods. But we're knitters, aren't we? So that doesn't worry us, because we just know that we have the ability to sit down, make a coffee, watch the Olympics, and stitch our way to happiness. So it is all good. Right. Not as organised today as I would have liked to have been, but that's okay. You know me, I'll find something to talk about. Thank you to everyone that bought Perrindale over the weekend. Great. It was just a fun thing to do. We had so much Perrindale come into stock, and it just allowed a number of you to be able to get some yarn if you'd missed out on the things from the previous special. And Perrindale is just one of our perennial favourites. So good for colour work. So yes, Damien is busy packing all those orders as we speak. And I didn't get to do as much knitting as I would have liked, if I was brutally honest. Just purely because I was running around. In fact, I'll see if I can pull it up and I can show you what I was doing. I was helping. My son is wanting to save school holidays, so he has been wanting to save his money for a new thing. So he wanted me to bring him home some work for him, and I said, okay, well, I'll talk to Claire and I'll see what we can dig up, because heaven forbid I find stuff that I'm not supposed to do. But so anyway, Claire and I said to Claire, we've got these hanks that needed twisting. And anyway, he found the twisting a bit tough, but he is able to do the labelling. So this is what the poor little tacker has been. So I did all the hand twisting for those over the weekend, and this is him today. This is, hopefully, with any luck, he'll turn up in here in a minute, because I've just spoken to him, so I know he's awake. This is what he will be doing this morning, is labelling all of those for everybody. So he is doing that so he can earn a little bit of money. And this is the silks that I was showing you last week. And it turns out it looks like we're going to actually have a better price on the silk than we expected. When I did all the hand twisting, dare I say it, there were a few faults in there that I wasn't 100% happy with. So I've been to the mill this morning to talk to Peter about that. But it just means that there will be the silk. I mean, it is beautiful and it has dyed beautifully. So hopefully you should be able to get some silk actually at some pretty reasonable prices. So that is what I got up to. Actually, a lot of my knitting time was chewed up twisting those over the weekend. So I now have, it's my workout for the weekend was twisting all of them. But I did get a little bit done. So as you can see, it is growing. I mean, it's slowly and steadily growing. I have no idea how long that is now. It must be, oh yes, probably. Yeah, that's getting there. So I'm about, I would say, about a quarter of the way through that now. I'm really enjoying it. Just, it's so rhythmic and it's perfect for Olympics watching. So I'm really hoping that the next couple of days I'm going to get a lot of this cranked out. I work from home on a Tuesday and a Wednesday, and I've got tomorrow I've got a whole bunch of canned stuff that I want to do. And that's Knit August Nights, for those that don't know. So I'm really excited. I'm really, really, really excited about that, because it just means that I can, it's a month. What's today? 26th? Yeah, a month today until Knit August Nights. If you're coming to Knit August Nights, I can't wait to see you. I see Margaret's in chat. She's one of our fabulous tutors and traders. She'll be there. There's a few of you. Barbara's there. I definitely know Barbara's coming. Dee's there. Yeah, there's quite a few of you in there that I definitely know are coming. So really excited. So I've had, of course, with the bubble bursting, I talked about that a little bit the other day, but I'm going to talk about that a wee bit more. I was going to send something out over the weekend, and then of course I'm needing to just give myself a little bit more time to do a few more things, and I'm going to be popping out another newsletter, definitely tomorrow, to everybody who is attending. But for those who aren't attending but you want to attend and you've been sitting on the fence and you're thinking about it, I'm going to pop that newsletter out, but I'll also pop a link up to that newsletter in our Knit August Nights Facebook page so you can view it. And the reason I'll be doing that is because of the bubble bursting. Unfortunately, I did have some Australians coming and they can now no longer come. So there are some classes that will be becoming available, including a space in the masterclass on Thursday. So if you've been sort of waiting for a sign that you need to come, this is your sign. So do watch out for that. I'll be reactivating all of those tomorrow and putting all that information out. Thank you very much, Kathy, for popping up. This is, yes, shoji that I'm knitting. From Oregon, and it is a great transformational origami style cardigan, and I actually am really enjoying it, and I'm knitting it in the Whisper Fine with Cozy. If you picked up, and it's just fabulous. I love it. New Olympic sport, rhythmic knitting. Yes, rhythmic knitting. And then we could also have synchronized knitting. Wouldn't that be fun? I know, silly, but it's fun. I'm just loving it. And I'm knitting this with Cozy, which is our 4-ply. The other yarn, actually, if you're wanting to play around, and I haven't even done it. I need to do it. I need to get some little combos done, because I'm looking at it. I definitely know Summer works with Daring, but a lot of our Little Bandit has come back into stock. In fact, Bandit and Little Bandit has come back into stock. Really excited about that, and it is a chance to be able to go out and actually really enjoy the yarns, double strand them together, have a play around with some color combinations. And if you've been waiting for Bandit, it is so good to have it back. So it is really, really good. So that's the fabric on that. That is what I'm up to. I also sent out information on the cardigan, the Cocoon Cardigan, last week. I know a number of you have started that. And I had someone, speaking of Nora, because of course I can't help myself. I'm always looking ahead at different designs and things that we can knit. And I had someone actually call, because I featured this design when I did a sort of spotlight on Oregon earlier in the month when we were looking at designs for Albertine. And I kind of have had to put the brakes on that because I've only got 3 shades of Albertine left. You've loved the Albertine. So we've got, I think I've got Black Cherry, Spring Melt and Midnight Sun still available. Oh, and Great Lakes. might be 4 shades, Great Lakes as well, 4 shades. And this was a pattern that I featured, and it was from Making Magazine number 7, and the part of the Desert collection, and it just spoke to me straight away because look at that. How can you not love those gorgeous, lovely cables? But I liked it because it's sort of a relaxed, oversized, positive ease, really just lovely. This is like this, just a snuggly jumper. Best part is it is done in a DK yarn. So this jumper, from our perspective, a Skeinz perspective, has 1,000,001 possibilities. It's called Shifting Sands from Noragon. And obviously it is now available for purchase on its own. So I couldn't help myself. Someone called up and had a question about the chart. And I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to buy it because it's so much easier to answer the question that I need to answer when I have it. The neat thing about it is the yarn that was used was quite a more rustic style yarn, a more rustic style DK yarn. So this is the sort of pullover that totally works with so much of what we have. Instantly, if you're wanting something natural like this instantly says to me, obviously oatmeal and Southlander, Chatswood and Sheffield, both. And I know I can't remember the name, the Bandit. Oh, hold on, I'm going to look it up because I'm sitting here in the Bandit one. There is a brilliant, which is almost exactly that colour. I know, Deb, I should have these memorised. I do have most of them memorised. Curiosity and Bandit. Perfect in this. Is it seriously exactly that colour? It's just fabulous. Or if you wanted something a wee bit softer, but natural, I mean, the Cove Rocky Shore is now back. It's a bit darker than this, but Cove Rocky Shore, amazing. Would be absolutely incredible in this. And then if you wanted something smoother for lovely crisp cables, you could go any of the DKs that we have in that sort of line. So, I mean, in vintage, anything in vintage would work fabulously well in that. The other reason I got excited about that too is we have got another yarn coming, and you can't really see much there, can you? But this is a sample. I've got to do a ladder swatch in this. And like these are some of the colour cards. But we have actually selected that range. I'm not going to show you too much because I'm not going to tell you what it is. But I am going to, yes, I can show you from this side. Those are the colours that we've selected in that range. Look at that. These, my friends, are all coming. All of these are coming. And I'm kind of hoping if the DHL gods are smiling on us, we might have this in time for Cam. I know it's been made, but look at that as a range. Doesn't it look, it doesn't, it's the worst thing about the camera. It doesn't show it up as well, but it is amazing. So I've been madly looking for patterns that we could potentially do in that. And this Shifting Sands is one. Another one actually that just cropped up on the top 20 this morning with Rav was this one here, Dayside by Carol Feller. In fact, Phoenix too from Libby would be fabulous in this new yarn. I'm going to tell you more about that when it comes. Yes, Margaret Orange. Margaret the Orange. You will love that orange. That is a fabulous orange. Absolutely fabulous orange. Oh, actually, and while we're on this morning, I think also there was a girl in a swimming final actually coming up soon. So if any of you are multitasking and got Olympics on the background and watching that at the same time, let me know if the swimming comes on, how she gets on. So that's been quite a bit distracting because I know this yarn's coming in and I've been getting quite distracted by looking for patterns, and of course we're itching for the patterns to arrive because we want to get them up to the sample knitter. Well, not the patterns, the yarn, so we can get that up to the sample knitter. And then I was at the mill this morning, first thing, and there's another yarn that we spun a long time ago for someone else. Anyway, it went to someone else. Someone else is no longer around, so that it came back to us. Long story. Anyhow, there were two yarns. Janet. Oh, crikey. Janet's saying we're heading for a triathlon medal. That's exciting. Oh, keep us posted, Janet. I mind. Oh, keep us posted. That is exciting. Where was I? Anyway, this new yarn. There's a 4-ply and a. I think it's gonna. Well, I'm actually gonna have to swatch it now because I've only got the unbulked sample with me. But I saw this yarn, and it's a single roving with we think a trilobal wrap around the outside, and it's a wrap yarn. And they put I think we had natural in the range for both qualities, and they've gone through the Superba, which is the big steam tunnel to steam all these yarns. And so it was sitting outside the caking machine when I was there. Oh, it was so seriously squishable, like so seriously squishable. It was absolutely amazing. It was just so good, so good. I was saying bronze. Like, we've got the bronze, like won the bronze for realsies or in contention for bronze. Oh gosh, this is good. This is really exciting. It's all on, I tell you. Anywho, distracting. Sorry. Yes. So if that's come through the Superba, then oh yes, for realsies, Glenn. Thank you. That's awesome. Yay. Hayden Wild. Congratulations, Hayden. Good work, Tiger. Oh, there we go. First medal. Yahoo. That's good news. See, I'd much rather be sitting at home knitting and watching Olympics than working. Anyway, that's all right. Maybe I can do that tomorrow. I can work and have Olympics on in the background. Anyway, where did I get? Yes, new yarn. So hopefully that one will be through as well in time for Knit August Nights. So that would be fabulous. Really excited. And the wrap on it is amazing. Like, so I'm going to have to start looking for patterns for that as well. So that gets exciting. But there is so much going on, and it's such an exciting time because it's winter and we really love it. And I don't know about it. I try not to go down rabbit holes too often because it's you just down you go and it's all over Red Rover. So one of the things that I have done, and I've got them pulled out, and I mean here, as you can see behind me, I've got books there, and if I were to make sure I'll spin the camera around, hopefully it won't make anybody too nauseous with that. See, there you go. I've got books over there, and I've got books there, and books down there. I've got books everywhere, magazines, all sorts. Books on the table. And these, in fact, there's about 6 books holding the computer up in front of me. And these are all part of my private collection here. So if you ever come into store here and you need inspiration, you can come through into this room and people do. They sit down and spend some time going through the books and the magazines just to give themselves some direction, some inspiration, and heading them on the right path. A number of what I've got in my collection, I know so many of you have at home or available in the library. And I actually pulled out a whole heap because I've been thinking about our friends in Australia since last week. You've been on my mind. You have been on my mind because it's so tough over there at the moment with the lockdowns in New South Wales, Victoria, and I don't know whether Queensland is lockdown. Mind you, I know the Queenslanders are a little bit more relaxed, so their lockdown potentially may not be as strident as their friends further south. And I've just got them pulled. There's an Australian designer that I know a whole heap of you will have books at home because she published a lot of books through the 90s and the early 2000s. She's still working, still publishing, still selling yarn in Western Australia, and that is Jo Sharp. And I know a number of you probably have Jo Sharp books in your collection. I have a whole heap, like a whole heap. And the reason why I have so many is Jo has always had a very classical style aesthetic, and that has always been quite contemporary, quite wearable items. She's also done a lot of work with hand knits for the home. And she's also done stuff that's been quite eclectic, oopsie, and, wearable knits for this part of the world. And I just love them. And one of the other things too that I love them for back in the day is I used to own a lot of these books because I didn't knit in the round, and Jo designed to the traditional formats. She did a lot of colour work too. She loves colour work. She did a lot of colour work early on. I'm just saying, yeah, see, this is 2000. That one was printed. The Heartland collection, and this was another really, and these ones here, some of these, Heartland and this one here, knitted sweater style, there is every likelihood that you'll be able to pick these up from local libraries as well. I have seen them run around in local libraries. Oh, and this one, when was this one? This one was 97. So she was really prolific through the late 90s and early part of the century, and she has a real love of colour. So this colour one was predominantly in Taja, but oh, here we go. Why don't I just show you the back sleeve, guys? But there's still a lot of classic styles in here. Now, why do I mention these? I mention these because Jo also has her own ranges of yarn, of which we used to manufacture in the early days. But so many of these designs are really easily translatable into, again, Skeinz yarns. And sometimes it's about not necessarily falling down a rabbit hole, but jumping in and enjoying yarns and going back to designs that just are timeless and are always fantastic. Look at those. So I have been really enjoying these and just going back over and having a lot of them. And in light of that new yarn that I was showing you, that is the sort of thing that you would be able to knit in this new yarn. And she also has a number of items that are just so relaxed and fun. These are the sorts of things that you'll be able to do in that yarn. Just amazing. So I've been really enjoying those. So if you're in Australia and you have a number of these books, you're at home and have a number of these books, dig them out, because chances are they're sitting at the bottom of a shelf because they've been around for nigh on 20 years, but they are a fantastic resource, and don't forget about them. Do check out pattern libraries, and also too, a number of my collection of this Jo Sharp collection that I have here, I've picked up at op shops. So you can actually find them. And I'm pretty certain she still has designs and availability on her own website and on Ravelry. So she's another one who's a local Australasian designer that's definitely well worth checking out. Now, if you are and I'm sure I saw a few of you this morning who checked in to say hello from across the ditch. Claire and I, we were texting over the weekend talking about the predicament that you have over there, and saying, just how awful it was, and we want to do something for you guys. So I've already done it. I've set it up this morning that we have gone and changed half price shipping. So usually for DHL Express across to Australia for up to 2 kilos, it's $19.95. I've taken $10 off that, and it's now $9.95 up to 2 kilos to go across to Australia. So that's a lot. That's more than it's a garment and a bit's worth of yarn that we will send across to you for only $10. That's $10 Kiwi too. So if you are stuck in lockdown and you're getting oodles of knitting done and you're wanting to get some yarn, we'll help you out with that. And you know what? We're going to keep that going. Whilst the travel bubble is on hiatus, that's how long that special is going to stay in place. So there you go. We've got your back, guys. And, when the chips are down, we will make sure that we look after you. So, and that's automatic. So if you go to place an order, and as long as it's under 2 kilos, you will find that pricing will pop up. Instead of $19.95, it'll pop up at $9.95. So, yeah. We thought we've just been thinking about you guys. Yeah, you're welcome. I know, and then I forget because so many of you do tune in, and it's just, it's tough it is really tough. I mean, first losing Bendigo, and when I say losing Bendigo, the Bendigo show literally having to be cancelled at the 11th hour, which was heartbreaking, absolutely heartbreaking in others. So anything we can do to make things a little bit easier for you guys, we're here. So. Oh, there we go. Adelaide, South Australia's in lockdown too. Yeah, I wasn't sure, Michelle. I know some are, some aren't. Some of the lockdowns are more strident than others. Yeah, it's tough, and I would hate for that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what we'd do if that happened back here. You know, you get used to things being situational. So that's what we're going to do for you over in Aussie. Someone asked, what is the ply of the new yarn? Yvonne. Technically, it is going to. It is an Aran weight, and it's woolen spun. Stew, it is, but that's why I'm going to do a ladder swatch, because I've had a look at a number of patterns that have been designed for this yarn, and there's been lots of different gauges around. I am picking, and I'm going to, and that's why I want to do my swatch to confirm. I am picking that anything that is double knitting, Aran or 10 ply pattern wise is going to be fair game for this yarn, because the nature of how it's manufactured. It's got really good meterage, and I can't, have I got that written down actually? Did I get that written down over here? The meterage is really good. I think it's like 100. I have to check the meterage actually. I think it was something in the vicinity of about 100 and. Oh, hold on, here we go. I got it there. 190 meters per 100 grams. I knew I had it here somewhere. 190 meters per 100 grams. So that gives you an idea that it is definitely in that Aran camp. But I just wanted to do, I do want to swatch it as a DK to see what it looks like. I suspect it's going to look fabulous as knitted in a DK, and I just want to make sure I can get DK gauge on it. But it is, yeah, it's really good. Sandra's asking, hi, the cozy yarn, are you getting any other colours that would match your mohair? We've got two in cozy that match the mohairs that we have currently, which are magenta and cyan, match with aria and it's not rejoice, it is delight, I think, delight. So the two pinks. We do, though, Sandra, have more colours of cozy and snug coming. We've actually got some really gorgeous colours coming in softer pastel shades, which will work more readily with cream rose. In fact, we've got one coming which I think will look fabulous with the cream rose. We've got, I think it's 4 or 5 new colours coming. So just some softer shades in that range. People have been asking for softer shades. So they are on the board, Miss Ford. I know that they're in the production schedule, and I think they were scheduled for this month, but I will be honest with you, I did actually push them out so I could bring some other stuff forward. So it's looking like September-ish. They should be here. And yeah, so that a number of those will work with the Whisper yarns, which will be fun. I did pop out in the newsletter the other day a number of comparisons of ones that you can do. There is, if you're looking at Whisper Fine, obviously the lighter shades go with a lot of the Pearl Luster, but you can also play around with some merino softs there as well and start playing. And yeah, and again, see, we've got Curiosity and Little Bandit would go really well with either the cream rose or the smoke, just being a natural tone. And then there's also the light blue, which would probably go with the Horizon quite well. They would be slightly different, but you get that really soft sort of textured effect. So yeah, just have a little play around. And I mean, this is where if you've got a color of mohair that you really love, is, you know, investing in getting the color of mohair that you want, and maybe a few other balls, and just having a little play around and doing some swatching. I think that makes it's just always really well worth it, and really fun to do. So that's, yeah, definitely something to do. Before I head off, I do want to remind everybody that we have got some skill session crochet classes going on here. We've got another one coming up on Wednesday. So if you're in the Bay and you want to get hooked on crochet, you do need to register for that. Give us a holler, give us a call, or flick us an email, or jump onto the Skeinz homepage and just scroll down to the news section. The information is there. They're just $40 for a 2-hour session with our wonderful Lorraine, and they're very hands-on, very small, very personal. So that would work really well. Great suggestion, Kathy. She's saying adventure would really work well too. Yes, you're right, Kathy. So do check those out. We had the first one last week, and that was a really neat session. You just learn so much, and Lorraine is able to sort of it's a really good primer for anybody who's never crocheted before, or you haven't crocheted for a really long time and you need to get back onto the hook. It's just a perfect way to get yourself restarted again and kick back into the crochet. So don't forget that those are on. And then we've also got a couple of dates scheduled for August as well. So I've got the remaining date for July and the 2 dates for August sitting there ready to go. What else do I have for you? No, I think that's me. I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to stop talking and go and check the news now that we've won a medal. That's such great news. Stay safe to our friends across the ditch. We're thinking of you. We really are. And as I said, if you are thinking of coming to Knit August Nights, it's not too late to register. I generally completely close the registrations off a couple of weeks out from the event starting. But there are some, as I said, some new classes that have now come up. So watch out for the social media tomorrow, and I will let you know what those are. You might be able to snap something up special. So until then, have a great rest of week. I will talk to you on Thursday. And go our Kiwi Olympic team. Great news. All right, take care. Bye.